Well, more people are traveling out of the country for plastic surgery, often drawn by significantly lower prices. But is medical tourism always a safe option?
Joining us now, Dr. Samir Hassan, aka Dr. Beauty Blade, a board-certified plastic surgeon here in Colorado that we use to kind of weigh in and give us the real on plastic surgery here locally. And Miriam Al-Darashi, who has a personal story to share. And first of all, I've personally seen some of the photos that we've elected not to share on air. Thank you for being brave and sharing your story. Let's start with you, Miriam. Tell us about why you went overseas for surgery.
Well, like I was saying earlier, I mainly preferred a female doctor to proceed my surgery or to do the surgery on me, even though I knew Dr. Hassan way back in the time, just because he was my medical director at that time. And that provider, no names to be mentioned, but she was recommended by one of my clients. And for being a single mom of 4, business owner, I did not do enough research, and I just want to get her over with and, get back home safe. So yeah, that's how I found her, and I went to Miami to do it.
And then you found Dr. Hassan coming back. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so when Miriam had returned, she had this dark patch of skin, which I think the surgery clinic that she went to tried to write it off as a bruise, but it was dead skin. It was tissue necrosis, and it quickly progressed to full thickness defect down to her stomach. So we had to revise things a couple times, and we found each other because she was here in Denver when she got back and needed help. Yeah.
And Dr. Hassan, I can only imagine, that a lot of people are ignorant to the risks, right? So what are some other patient risks that you can kind of disclose that many people might not even think about?
Absolutely. Well, for one, traveling comes with the stresses of physical demanding activity. You got heavy lifting, you've got cabin pressure that's going to automatically make you swell. You've got to lift things that are going to put pressure on your incisions, which may cause breakdown. And you're definitely, if you're having more swelling, potentially going to have formation of things that I call trouble bubbles or seromas, fluid pockets under the skin that can cause pressure and damage to surgical sites.
And I know people personally who have gone overseas for surgery because hair plugs are cheaper in Turkey and plastic surgery is cheaper in the Dominican Republic or Brazil or certain places. But aftercare, someone who has had, it is so important. How do you even navigate that if you're getting your surgery thousands of miles away?
Yeah, it is so crucial. And I just want to highlight, there's great surgeons everywhere. Yeah. There's great surgeons all over the world, but the follow-up and the aftercare, I think if you're going to be traveling, you need to ask your surgical team, what happens when I get home back to Denver or wherever home is? Who's going to help me if I have a problem? Because problems don't always happen right away. They might happen on the plane. They might happen first or second week when you get back home.
That's true.
And then you're stuck because you can't travel to go see that doctor. You're probably sick or recovering from something like you were, and you can't just get on a plane. So I think having a safety plan in place with instructions for when you get back home, what to do if you're in trouble, if you have a complication, is the way to go.
And what's any advice that both of you would give to someone, any of our viewers considering getting surgery abroad?
Well, what I mainly learned from this whole entire thing is to put your health and safety first, before your budget, before your beauty, for sure. And take all of your sweet time to do as much research as you need. And get multiple opinions, medical opinions, general opinions before you do such a thing. And trust your intuition, because that's what ultimately saved me, because I realized something was not right and I ended up being blocked and neglected and abandoned. And that's what caused the whole thing to grow to the worse.
When you say blocked, what do you mean?
They blocked me because I kept calling them on a daily basis.
Are you serious?
To figure out what was going on. What am I looking at when I'm looking at my scar?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and then I ended up 2 weeks after seeking for help. I walked into his office without any appointments. I'm like, you need to take a look at it. Something is not right. And again, I did not know what that dark scar was, meant. So definitely trust your intuition, because once you realize something is not right, your body would speak up for itself. And of course, use your voice for your own care, Yep. Yeah.
I think it's tough because a lot of patients, they see, ads online, travel to Turkey or travel to Mexico, wherever, get this surgery for, $2,000, and it's very incentivizing. But at the end of the day, you got to verify credentials, check before afters. Word of mouth is the best thing, right? Looking at these groups of other patients, women that have had surgery, and seeing, hey, how was this clinic? How did it turn out? Because I think the truth is usually out there if you dig, and sometimes you got to dig more.
All right. We appreciate Miriam. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing your
absolutely.
story, Dr. Beauty Blade. If you are curious, you can find him on Instagram at Dr. Beauty Blade, and you can see some of the images and some of the rehabilitation surgery and recorrective surgery that's been done. So you can educate yourself. It's important. Thank you both.